No Man's Sky Worlds Part 1 is out, and it's quite a big update than first appears. They've changed the engine and dramatically improved the worlds. But first I want to show you how to get the big beetle to spawn, fight them, and what you get. You're looking for a planet with vile brood detected, and it appears randomly around the universe. When you're on the planet, you want to scan for the juicy grub. When you get to the juicy grub, you want to pluck it. Then pop it, and as you notice you can also use it in cooking. Once you've popped it, that will trigger the event. It's a case of battling the thing until you defeat it. At the moment the game sometimes crashes in these battles. I'll show you an unedited clip of me fighting the brood mother, and then we'll see what happens at the end. Once you defeat the brood mother, you sometimes get a reward. Doesn't happen every time, I've fought them quite a few times. But next up, let's go to the Anomaly. And we'll quickly go and visit the Quicksilver merchants. And these are all the rewards for the next expedition, Expedition 14. We're going to get a complete new armor set as well as the one from the brood mother. And 3 more bug helmets. As well as the usual rewards, this expedition looks quite interesting. It also looks as though we're getting a new exo in the expedition, which is going to have flamethrowers. But let's head to the appearance modifier. And under the Anomaly race is where you can attach the bug armor. Next up, let's go to the kiosk guys. The ship merchant is where you get the aqua jet so you can land on water. And at the base part kiosk is where you'll find 3 new glass roofs, which will be quite good for building. You could do some interesting things with that. Let's head to the space station. Head to the ship customizer. And as you can see, solar ships has been added to the ship customizer. We're on a new planet now, and as you'll notice the planets have been immensely improved. But I'll get to that later, because I want to find some water and land on it. There's been a lot of improvements to the graphics for the water and quite a lot of other things as well. but we'll have a look at some of the patch notes that go into detail on that as well. Because I want you to go back to space, call in my freighter, go up to the flight deck, and then jump to a new system. You'll probably have to jump to quite a few systems. But each system you want to activate your planetary probe, and see what planets you've got. Probably worth visiting quite a few of them because of all the changes, but it's also the best way to find the broodmother planets, which is a vile brood detected. So let's head to that planet. Look for a juicy grub with a scanner. Pluck the juicy grub. Pop it and the battle starts again. Like I said earlier, it's quite common for the game to crash in these battles, and of course the broodmother sometimes glitches like it has here. Of course there's going to be a lot of different rewards, but you don't get it every time, and as you'll find out, I didn't get a reward at the end of this one. There's quite a few of them you don't get rewards, so it's going to involve a bit of farming. Okay, on to the patch notes. The Liquidators Expedition is coming soon, and as we saw earlier, it's going to come with quite a few rewards. We can now rename our discoveries at any time, and change it at any time. And here's the new dramatic worlds that we're talking about. And it seems to be quite a few of them, so there's going to be a lot of discovering, there's going to be a lot of exploring in this update. The clouds have been dramatically improved. Of course there's new solar ships we talked about earlier. There's also mention of the graphical improvement. They've changed the engine, that's probably why it's Worlds Part 1 and 2. So this might not actually be the big update, it might be two big updates. Of course the water's changed dramatically. There's new otherworldly creatures to find. Wind and particle effects have been dramatically improved. And interestingly enough, they've improved the water and created dramatic water as well. So there's going to be a lot of choppy water, and of course, occasionally, ocean swells. The new Liquidator combat mech, which has an interesting new feature. They've also improved Sub-Zero worlds. They've improved Desert worlds, added more biodiversity. The insect armor set we talked about earlier. And of course the engine enhancement, which is why I think they split this update into two parts. They've added loads of different types of beetles. improved the storms. There's going to be some Twitch drops coming as well. They've improved the combat HUD for Sentinel battles. Of course, the new jetpack. And a lot more watercolour variety, but if you notice, they've got the editing tool at the side. New recipes. Living buildings, that's interesting. Landing on water, I showed you that earlier. The new base parts. And improvements to the atmospheric variety, more particle effects. And of course the vile insect queens, the brood mothers that I showed you earlier. Some quality of life improvements like docking and stuff like that. Finers can be quick filled and the target sweep has been improved. There's going to be new gestures. When you go underwater, you'll see how much is improved. That's why they're mentioning the bases. Some improvements for PC players. You can also start the Vile Brood Mother missions at the Nexus in the Anomaly. They've updated the noxious toxic planets as well. Trophies from the Liquidators Expedition. They made the little baby worm battles a little bit more interesting. Of course, they've improved irradiated worlds as well. The insectoid headgear, which I showed you earlier. And that's right, the new Minotaur comes with a flamethrower. And of course, they've also updated the volcanic world, the burnt worlds. Added more variety to the night sky. And new plants and lush worlds. So this update's all about the bios and improving the exploring aspect of the game, and it certainly does feel as though there's a lot of things to see and discover out there, and I'm wondering if the second update is going to add even more on top of it, and this one was more about settling in the new engine and adding some of the features that are coming. Here's a list of the patch notes if you want, as I'm off to do a lot more exploring. I hope you liked the video, and if you did, hit that like and subscribe button, or on the bell thingy. And of course, thank you for watching. See you all later.